On this episode, I'm joined by my friend Sean of But Mostly Disney, and we're putting Walt Disney World's wait times on trial as we break down the top 15 Walt Disney World attractions using guest data to answer the big question: are these rides actually worth the wait? Today's January 6, 2026, and this is episode 835 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys!
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, get the latest theme park news, as well as live streams from the parks and resorts, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today. Sean, welcome to Main Street Magic. I'm so excited to have you on. Ever since we met last year, been waiting to have you on, and I thought this would be a fun topic. So excited to have you on, man.
Oh, Jeremy, thanks, man. I'm excited to be here. It's been 2 years. We met 2 years ago.
We sure did.
Well, I guess like a year and a half time-wise, but two momentums.
That is.
2024.
Yeah. That's the way that time goes nowadays. 2025 went like that, and here we are, kicking off the new year. So did you have a good holiday?
I can't believe Christmas is over.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. Too short. Too short. We are, this is our first year being empty nesters, so having all three kids under one roof is pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah.
For us.
Yeah. Well, just real quick for folks who don't know who you are yet, just a little bit about yourself and background with Disney and your podcast.
Yeah, my name's Sean. Some people call me Tater. I've been called both. I like both, so whatever you prefer. Dealer's choice. We started going to Disney, I think, in 2007 as a family. Been going every year since. And then about the same time I actually met Jeremy, I started a YouTube channel. And then from there, a live podcast on YouTube and Facebook on Tuesday nights. So I've gone from just being a Disney dad to joining this crazy creator podcaster world that I never knew I wanted to be in.
Yeah, well, we are glad to have you in the podcast world because, But Mostly Disney is an awesome podcast, and your YouTube channel and all. And we'll make sure at the end you get to throw out where everybody can find you. But this will be a fun one, I think, to discuss. So we're going to talk about 15 rides at Walt Disney World, and we'll let you know how we selected those rides. And the average wait times that they see. You know, we're coming out of the holiday season where you see just astronomical wait times. And the discussion, I feel like, during that holiday season always comes up, would you ever wait that long for whatever this ride is? So that's what we're going to get into with this. So what we did is using our trusty friend ChatGPT, we had it pull basically the top 15 rides based on different data sites, using polls from different social media sites, reviews, ratings, to really pull like the top 15, and then used thrilldata.com, which is an absolutely incredible site, to pull the average wait times historically for each of those. And then Sean and I are going to have a little discussion, maybe a little debate on if that is worth it or not. Some of the things that we were kind of chatting about real quick before we hit record, you know, Sean and I are both very lucky to get to go to Disney World, you know, pretty often. And so it's easy for a lot of these, I think, I know for me personally, to be like, oh, anything over 30 minutes, I'm just not waiting. I'll be here in 2 weeks, or I'll be here, you know, tomorrow, or whatever it may be. So we're going to kind of look at it from a couple lenses, a little bit from that one, a little bit from the pass holder lens, a little bit from the first timers. And you brought up something that I think is so perfect for this, because we've been pass holders for 10 years now, and we've gone every single month since. You're only recently kind of getting into that, multiple trips a year. So I guess let's talk a little bit about how you guys used to do things compared to kind of how you do now when it comes to wait times and attractions and all.
Well, so I think I've had a foot in every camp. We started out as a once a year family. Really, the first year we went, we had no idea that I would have bought DVC if I'd have known that I was going to come back every single year for the rest of my life. But when the kids were little, we just wandered the parks and did what we could do. And look, I am so jealous, first of all, of how organized you are. I mean, you've got lists and times, and we have a podcast tomorrow night. I don't even know what the topic is yet. So it's really cool to be able to do this, but we've never been much of a planner family. I will say that my kids, and I don't know that I did this on purpose or if I just got lucky, but our kids were always kind of like, we would set a goal for the day, whether one ride, whatever it was, and then everything else we let serendipity kind of, we happen to be here and it's only 5 minutes, let's jump on, even if we were heading to another ride. And we never had any crying fits or anybody in the car just so disappointed because we missed Frozen, and part of that was because they knew we were coming back the next year, so they could say, Dad, I want to see Peter Pan, but it's 45 minutes and I really would rather do this. So we've always had a very laid back Disney experience from the very, very beginning, which is nice. I got that going for me, like Bill Murray.
Yeah.
I've seen people try to cram it in, and the lines can make you miserable, and one kid wants to do this, one kid wants to do that. You do see that in the park, but we've always been pretty lucky. But that doesn't mean we haven't stood in some very long lines for whatever our top priorities were.
Yeah. And everyone who is listening, take note of what Sean said about part of that. Even if you are the super planner and you get your lightning lanes, you got everything down to a time, you're planning every possible minute, it is going to go wrong. Guaranteed. Nobody has ever planned a trip to Disney that went off the way that they planned. So I think having that ability, like you're saying, even to kind of say, all right, let's focus on maybe one thing per person per day, so we know that they're happy there after they've done that, and then kind of see where the other, chips fall. Even if you're a super planner, you got to be ready to just adjust at any time. Because, if you set your expectations way too high, you're going to be disappointed, I think, regardless, pretty much. So,
well, I mean, there's too much you can't control, right? You can't control weather. You can't control rides down. I have a T-shirt literally that says it's possible I screwed this up. But I also find that it often creates happy little moments that I would have never gotten if things had gone right. So I embrace the chaos and the lack of planning.
Oh yeah. Some of our favorite moments are the moments we spent in the queue as opposed to the ride itself. Like there's, I can go back and mention so many of them. So it is important to take all that in. So what we're going to talk about as we go through this is take into account, the immersion and theming of the ride, the ride experience, whether it's a thrill ride or not, and how that makes you feel. I think length of ride, I know for me, can sometimes be important. And is that final kind of payoff and value worth whatever the wait time is? And then I think it's important in kind of re-ride value, in the sense of, is this a ride that you're going to do because you've never done it before, but you kind of know, or afterwards, hey, I don't really ever need to do this ride again. That can kind of matter as well. If you think you're only going to do it once ever just because you want to do it, you might be willing to wait a little longer, as opposed to if hey, this is a ride we're going to do every single time if we can. So kind of some of the things that we'll be thinking about. Are you ready to get into the rides?
Let's do it, man. I'm ready.
All right. So we're going to go from the lowest historic average wait time all the way to the top for these 15 that ChatGPT pulled for us. And the first one, we're heading to Magic Kingdom, Pirates of the Caribbean. The historic average wait time is only 24 minutes. The max wait time, because we're going to throw these in for fun and see if you would have ever waited this long, is 175 minutes. And when it comes into that length versus value, this is an 8.5 minute ride. We know that's a very long ride that you get to enjoy. So for you, what is I think both of us would probably hop in line if it's 24 minutes, but what's kind of a max for Pirates? What are you willing to wait? And do you think it's worth a longer wait time?
I don't think I'd go much more. Look, it's a must do, right? Like it is my absolute favorite ride in all of the parks. I like it better even than Disneyland because it's my Pirates. It's the one I saw in 1977.
Yeah.
First time I went there. So would I wait 175? Maybe. But honestly, if we're walking through the parks and I'm just going through, then if it's over 45, I'm not jumping in line for it.
Yeah. I'd put
just because we've done it so much.
Oh yeah, I'd put my 45-minute mark on it, just like you. I agree with everything you said. If somebody was going to Disney World for the very first time, and they're not sure when they're going to get back, and obviously they're hitting you up because they know you know all about Disney, and they say, Sean, Pirates of the Caribbean is 175 minutes for whatever crazy reason. Are you telling them to get in the queue?
Yep, you have to do it. Yeah. It's a great queue, right? Yep. It's a wonderful queue. It's nice and cool in there.
Yes.
There's a water fountain as you go in, so you can get a little drink, stay in there, check out the skeletons, watch those guys play chess for the 100 millionth time. But I mean, and it's a good ride value, right? 8.5 minutes. That's a solid length for weight ratio, I think.
For sure.
Looking at some of these, but no, I think you got to do it.
Yeah. I can't think of the last time that we walked past. And again, we're going with historic averages and crazy wait times, during whenever this data went back to. But I can't remember a time that we've walked past recently and it's been over 20 minutes. And usually it's much less than that. Often you'll see the 5-minute, which is a walk on because it takes you 5 minutes to walk through the queue. Which is always something to think about as well, is that actual time you spend going through. It's got a quick load time and it moves so fast and it's kind of a people eater. So it's also one of those where I feel like often the actual wait is much lower than whatever's posted. But yeah, most 9 times out of 10, we're hopping in line for this one. It's one of my favorites as well.
And my wife tells me I give too many tips away and then it ruins them. But it's also one of those you can ride over and over again, like at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Like by the time the park's closing, there's no one on this ride. We've been the only ones on the boats. And if it wasn't for the way the ride loaded, I think they just let us stay on and go around in a circle.
Yeah, that is a great point. All right, let's move over to Animal Kingdom. We're going to go with Expedition Everest, one of my all-time favorite coasters. Average historic wait time is 29 minutes. Longest ever was, almost got to get my glasses out, 180 minutes. And this is a 2-minute and 51-second coaster. What are your thoughts on Expedition Everest and how long are you willing to wait?
Yeah, again, I'd wait an hour for this one.
Yeah.
If I'm in Animal Kingdom, it's one of the few coasters Disney has, like one of the true real roller coasters. And it's a great ride. I mean, I don't even think 180 is that bad. I would have thought that the average or the max would have been longer than that, frankly.
Yeah.
Because, Animal Kingdom doesn't have that much to do, right? As far as rides go. I love Animal Kingdom, but no, I'd wait an hour for this one if I was there for the day.
Yeah. This is why you and I get along so well, because that's exactly what I would put mine at as well. I mean, now, this is one of those where like Rhonda, she doesn't have to ride it every time. So I'll do single rider a lot, which obviously is a tip. You can always go in the single rider, even if you're going to split your group up. You can go ahead and go in there. But yeah, this is one of those where even if Rhonda and I are both there, and we don't do lightning lanes often because again, we can't spend on lightning lanes every time we go. So we pick and choose a lot, but I would easily go there and wait an hour with her at a nice chill day at Animal Kingdom. And I'm going to go up to an easy hour and a half, 2 hours if we're not taking advantage of lightning lane. And I got friends with me that have never been, that's the other thing I think about is we'll often go with friends who have not been or don't only go once a year, but usually we'll get lightning lanes. But in this instance, if we're not, I'm waiting pretty long for this one. I just absolutely love it.
And this is another super cool queue. Like it's a museum walking into there. It's really, this might've been the one, I think it was Peter Pan that our family, and I think we may have coined this phrase that the line is the ride, because kids would be impatient. They want to jump up there. I'm like, guys, slow down. The line is the ride. And this is one where I won't yell at anybody in front of me for stopping to take pictures because there's some really cool stuff in this one.
Yeah. There's often times that when the line is moving, I'm almost a little upset because I don't get to take in everything, and I'm the type, like, if we're in one of the rooms in the queue and I start reading something in the history, which, tells a bit of a story, I'm like, I want to finish this. I don't want to move through too quickly. And that's the ultimate test, I think, of a really good queue.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
All right. We're going to move over to Epcot. And we're going to go soaring around the world. It could be around California. It could be America coming up. But the average historic wait time is actually shockingly only 32 minutes. Max wait time of 240 minutes. This is about a 5-minute ride. What are your thoughts on this one?
This is a tough one because I'm going to end up sounding like a broken record because I love all these rides so much. I'm staring at the words like they're going to tell me the answer. Again, for 50 minutes. I'll give this one 50 minutes.
Okay.
And I love it. I don't ever want to miss it. We're going to Epcot for Festival of the Arts in 2 weeks, and I'll probably ride this even though we're not doing rides. But usually this is like a 20-minute wait, right?
Yeah.
Like 240, yikes. That's a lot.
Yeah. And this is one where the queue comes into play on the opposite side of things because it is right. I don't know that we've ever done an episode on most boring queues in Disney, but this could potentially take number one. And as much as they, put that little game you can try and play along on your phone, like nobody's really doing that for the most part. So right. I'm like, when we usually do travel anywhere, I'm not a journey guy. I'm a destination guy. And this is what Soarin' is. You don't even care about the journey in the queue. You just want to get on the dang ride, because there's nothing entertaining you while you're in it. But once you get on it, it is a pretty awesome ride that we will try to do every time we go. Now, again, we're usually going to look for a 30-minute and under, but I would easily put the hour wait time on this for an average. And I'd go a little bit above that, again, if we've got people with us that have never been.
Right. The friends from out of town score. Yeah. And this one breathes, right? This is one you just got to keep an eye. Like, I hate being on the phone and all, but this is one you got to watch because it'll go from 60 to 20. Like in a flash of a...
Yep. And back. We were we were just there, mid-December, because we were going down to see the Candlelight Processional, and we did lunch at Garden Grill. And we took Lacey and one of her friends with her, and we're asked for the check, and I look, and it's a 15-minute wait. Check comes within a few minutes. We pay it. We go down there, and it's at 60. So, yeah, you're right. That thing will jump. And it's one of those, if you're not doing a rope drop to Cosmic Rewind, then most of the time we're going to rope drop to the land, and we're going to knock out Living, and we're going to knock out Soarin' right away. And usually, that's going to be pretty low wait time. So that's a good way to beat any of those. All right, let's head back over to Magic Kingdom. Probably my favorite ride and attraction ever out of anything. Haunted Mansion with an average wait time of 34 minutes, maxed out at 180. This is 7.5 minutes. Thoughts on this one?
Again, this is a good late night one, right? Like we've gotten lucky, always looking for a 13-minute wait when we can.
Yes.
But I'd wait a long time for this ride. It's such a good attraction.
Yep.
But we got, it's funny, as we're looking at the times, I think we've gotten to the point where we gauge it by the actual line itself as opposed to the time. So, if it's down past where the paddle wheel boat used to be, then I don't ride it. But if it's inside, if it's from the gate in, I'll ride it. And I don't know what that length is. Yeah. But I'll give that a 45 minutes. If it says 45, I'll jump in line. You're right. It's incredible and it cannot be missed.
Yeah. 100% agree. And I'm with you. You are right about that, because certain things like Haunted Mansion, which we ride every time we go to Magic Kingdom, you do start to not even pay attention to the actual posted wait time. You really do look at where is the queue going to. And you're right. If you're going in that front gate, usually it's about 20 minutes. Now, of course, some of that depends on how much of the queue is open. Are they taking you through, more of the full outdoor queue portion there? Or are you going, you're bypassing all of that and you're going straight into, the little area going into the stretching room. But yeah, I would, on something like, I'm thinking, a party night, we have to do it on the Halloween party night, no matter what. And we like to do it once the sun is maybe set. So you start to get in between that, 4:00 and 7:00 of the official party starting. And sometimes the wait can definitely get a little bit longer. But even if that point, if we think we can get in and out before the official party starts at 7, even if it's posted at 60, we're probably going to get in line on Halloween. But yeah, looking for that 13 minutes, which means no minutes, is definitely the one to keep an eye on. And you're right too, with a lot of these, especially something like the Haunted Mansions and the Pirates, you can get in there within the last hour of most park days and not have much of an issue at all. Because a lot of those folks are then heading to try and do the same thing over at Tron and Seven Dwarfs, and some of the rides that really fetch long wait times. So we're going to stick in Magic Kingdom, go to probably my second favorite attraction of all time, Jungle Cruise. This averages a 43-minute wait time. Highest was at 180, and this is just over 9 minutes long. How long are you waiting for this? Is 30? What was it? 43 pretty on par for you?
Yeah, I'd even go an hour on this one. I love Jungle Cruise. It's number 2 for me. It's funny. So like Pirates is my favorite ride, but I feel like I know how to maneuver that to not wait for it. This one, you just never know.
No.
Like it might be a crazy line. I will say this. I was there last month for Jingle Cruise, and it said, this is the other thing. You can't look at those wait times. It said 60 minutes. I was walking by. I was like, well, I got to see the holiday, not overlay, as I called it. Overlay. I was called it layover. I don't know why I said layover. I mean, either would work, but I literally titled a video layover. I'm like, oh, it's not right. Whatever. I'm going to start calling them layovers.
Hey, let's do it.
But again, around the corner, 60 minutes, but I can't see the line. Like maybe that's the rule. If you can't see the line, then just go. Yeah. And it was like 15 minutes. They just hadn't adjusted the sign for it. But I'd wait a long time. And the friends out of town score, sure, 180 minutes, not even blink.
Yeah. Yep. Again, agree with you on all of those. This is one of those tricky ones, like you're saying, though, where that queue, it depends on so much what the switchback looks like. There's that whole extra room over to the right as you're going in.
Right.
That if that's open, wait time, if it's posted at 60, it's probably 60. If that is not open and wait time's posted at 60, you're right. It's probably 30 minutes or under. Maybe it even is that 15. And this is, I put these in with the Haunted Mansions, the Pirates of the Caribbean. These are the ones that folks that haven't been, I don't want to say you have to do, because, we don't believe in those checklists, but you have to try to do these. I think these are the ones where you trade up some other shorter wait times, even if there's a couple of them, for rides like these, because they're what Disney parks were built on. These are a lot of the OGs. Even some of these, obviously, you've got the real OGs over in Disneyland. So they cannot be missed. And they take you to a time, I think, of what Walt was truly building and wanted. Like, obviously, if we had the technologies now, when Walt was doing all this, things would look different. But he didn't know all that was necessarily coming. So this is what these parks were built on. The Omni movers, the dark rides, the educational stuff. It's just, you can't miss them.
I agree. And this one has not aged at all. Like this holds up. I don't care who you are. I had friends who are not Disney people go and they still love this attraction.
Yeah. 100%.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfect.
And when I think about the other parks down the street, and I do love Universal doesn't have Pirates of the Caribbean type rides. It doesn't have the Haunted Mansions. It doesn't have the Jungle Cruises. It doesn't have these rides. And I just don't feel like parks are sometimes complete without them. So they're definitely a must.
Yeah.
Next one, I know for our family's a must. Over at Hollywood Studios, we're hitting that for the first time with Toy Story Mania. Average wait time, 45 minutes. Maxes out at 240. This is 8 minutes. It's interactive. It's got awesome gameplay. It's got competition. What are your thoughts for this one?
Yeah, it's a must do. And my kid beat me for the first time last year on this, which I knew that day was coming, but it's so sad.
I got there recently too.
This is did you get beat? It's horrible.
Well,
it's just horrible.
It wasn't the kids. It was Rhonda. Rhonda beat me. Rhonda, the past 3 or 4 times, she has beat my butt. And it used to be, for the first, 9 years that we went, I'm not sure if she beat me once. So she's definitely much more agile.
Is she reading secret tips or something?
Oh, I guarantee she's not. I don't think she knows that YouTube videos and stuff exist that you could do that for. So But yeah,
we need to get you like a Rocky montage. Dun, 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 you know.
Yeah, but the kids have not beat me
Ring,
yet.
dinosaur, dinosaur.
I love it.
Yeah, my oldest finally beat me. And probably by a pretty good amount as well.
Yeah.
I was not thrilled.
Yeah.
I tried to blame it on the gun, but they know better than that. You know, and this one brings back like PTSD of when it first opened, that we would get there to Hollywood. My wife would run to the left to register the kids for Jedi Academy, and I would race to the right to Toy Story to pop in our fast passes, but because they were gone like instantly for the whole day.
Yep.
So in my mind, I'm probably still thinking that an hour wait is pretty short for that.
Yeah.
And we kind of have to do it for bragging rights. It's a great ride. I mean, it's a lot of fun. They've redone the queue since it opened. So it's you can listen to Mr. Potato Head tell you bad jokes for a little while.
Yeah.
And, yeah. You know, I will say this. We went the day, and as a family, before I started all the really being, going all the time, we went the day it opened after COVID. And it was just by coincidence. We had a lot of family debate. Do we go? Do we go? Yes. If Disney opens, we feel safe. And we drove down there and we were in the parks when there were no lines.
Yeah.
I mean, it was weird.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Like, it was cool. We did everything in Magic Kingdom by like 11:30.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yep.
But it's kind of like going to see a movie when alone. Like, it's awesome because you have the whole place and you can do whatever you want, but you miss the other people laughing or, that energy that's in the room. It was a weird energy.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't want to go through COVID again. And I'm glad we got to experience that, but it kind of made me a little more lenient on the lines.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to say an hour for this one, and out of town, you just have to do it.
Yep.
Those are my two scores.
Yeah. Agree. And honestly, most of the time, 45 minutes and under, we're still going to ride it now every time we go. So one of my best friends, Rob, we go about every other year. They come with us, and Rob's the type where most everything when it's over, he's kind of like, yeah, that was good. That was good. You could get him the greatest burger in the world and a McDonald's burger, and he's just going to put him on the same level. But the first time he ever did Toy Story Mania, we walked out and he's like, can we do it again? And that's when you're like, all right, this is one heck of a ride if Rob wants to do it again. And it's like the one thing out of all four parks that he has to do and wants to do when we go every other year. And if it was posted at 200 or what was it, 180 or 240 was the top, he probably would be like, well, I don't really care if we do anything else today, so I will totally wait for this. So if Rob says that, it's probably worth doing, I think personally. All right, we're going to stay in Hollywood Studios. We're going to go to Tower of Terror. Average wait time of 50 minutes, topped out at 280. About a 5-minute experience going up and down. Are you waiting for Tower of Terror?
Every time.
Yeah.
It's my youngest daughter's favorite ride. It doesn't matter what the line is. We head down that way and we're going.
Yep. Agreed.
So it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't even matter again, I think you can get a 13 there too. Can't you? Don't they do 13 on that one?
Yep. You don't see them near as often as you do with Haunted Mansion, but it does pop up every once in a while. And I'll almost say this can sometimes be like Soarin', where it can really go up and down and fluctuate. So keeping an eye on it is key. And I think it's another one where, depending on if you have lightning lanes, what the rest of your day you want to look like, these are rope droppers. You go here, you hit Rock and Roller Coaster or vice versa, and you're going to start your day off pretty well. This is one of my favorite all-time rides too. And a lot of these other rides, we haven't really talked rewritability because, nothing really changes with them. Toy Story Mania, I think, has a lot of rewritability because of the gaming aspect of it. And Tower of Terror does because of the randomness of the drops and all. And man, there's sometimes it ends and I'll look at Ron and be like, that sequence was incredible. And sometimes it feels like it's a lot longer than maybe the time you wrote it before based on whatever that sequence is. So this one I love. I know Rhonda really enjoys it. She doesn't enjoy Mission Breakout so much, which is funny to me because it is the same, but so different. And I don't know that she'll ever ride Mission Breakout again. So she would do this one over and over.
Is that at Universal?
No, the Guardians Mission Breakout over in California Adventure.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Likes this one. Well, I mean, this is probably one of the most well-themed rides they've ever done. I mean, it truly is an attraction.
Yes.
It's a great story. It's well executed. It's well told. I would create a time machine if I could to go back and when Lou Mangello and Becky Menken did that cocktail party inside the hotel.
I know.
Oh, I would have loved to have seen that just to be able to wander around in there. And again, that's another one. I could stand in that lobby for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And just take pictures and look at stuff. I find something new every single time I go there.
Yep. And I got to say, some of the best merch, I think, out of any attraction on property. So much good stuff. Almost every time we ride it and I walk through there, if I don't buy something, I'm picking it up and greatly considering it. And it's constantly changing too. And they had a whole line that had Stitch in it with Tower of Terror. So that was pretty good. And I missed out on it because that's the one I decided I'm not buying it this time. I'll get it next time. And then it wasn't there, but oh well.
I've got a great picture of Charlotte, my daughter, in one of those little bellboy hats.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I should have bought. I know they still sell them, but I wish she would have worn it when she was a kid. Now she's too cool for that.
Oh, of course. Well, if Lou and Becky do another one of those parties, you and I we'll go as dates. So we'll definitely do that one. Yep. All right, back over to Magic Kingdom. I think this is one of the hottest, I guess, topics as far as ride times go, and that's Peter Pan's flight. Now, the average is only about 51 minutes, which isn't insane, but normally we see wait times much, much higher throughout the day. Longest wait time was 360 minutes. This comes just shy of a 3-minute total ride time. Are you a big Peter Pan fan? Are you waiting a while for this one?
I am. And here's the deal. Like, here's the debate we always have about just Disney in general. Like, how much of what bakes the Disney cake for me is nostalgia.
Yeah.
And Peter Pan is the icing on it, right? Because I remember vividly going on this as a 6-year-old. And I remember that town of London, and it was so real. It was so incredible. So it's pure escapism. It's the epitome of what I think Walt wanted. And I don't like to do what did Walt think, but what he was trying to create there, right? Yeah. That really takes you away from reality. And it makes me a 6 or 7-year-old again every time I ride it. That being said, we do walk by it quite a bit because it just gets nuts. And again, this may be where we came up with the line is the ride when they added all the interactive stuff, and it's cool. The line really is. It's a neat cue. But man, if you can rope drop this one and get it out of the way, that's the way to do it. Yeah, because it's so short.
Yeah, agreed. This is one that doesn't have much of any nostalgia for us or our family. Either the movie or the ride. We've just never been big Peter Pan people. But when we started going and the kids were younger, I think we were usually turned off by the long wait times. So we didn't do it for so long. And I think this is the one where our expectations based on those wait times, for so many of those original years that we started going, we're like, well, this has to be the greatest ride on the planet because the wait times are always so long no matter what. And so then I think by the time we did it, it didn't live up to that expectation, which ultimately we set up for our own disappointment.
I was gonna say, I think it's wonderful. I wish more people hated it the way you do, and that way the line wouldn't be as long. So I'm just gonna start telling folks it's terrible.
Just tell them it's
Please
awful.
Don't go. It's run down.
Tell them Jeremy said so. You never
away
goes
from
on it. Yeah, I mean, but now, like if when we go back next, if I ever walked past that and it was 30 minutes, I would hop on it in a second and maybe even 40, 45 because we don't do it very often. And I can't really talk about Pirates and Haunted and Jungle without lumping Peter Pan in those. So if I feel that, those rides are must-dos to really experience Magic Kingdom for kind of, what it originally was in a sense, then I can't leave Peter Pan's flight out. So I'll at least say that piece on it.
Yeah, and it's one of our favorite movies. Like, I still watch it to fall asleep too because I love the music and I love Bobby Driscoll, and my oldest kids loved Tinkerbell, so we always had to ride it, especially when they added the little Tinkerbell, that light kind of effect that goes on in the queue. It's pretty cool when she's going in and out. So that one was kind of I do love it. I'm on that side of the fence, but I totally get and approve of other folks not liking it and staying far, far away.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine.
Well,
Don't feel pressured.
What's crazy, if it was Tinkerbell's flight, it probably would have been the biggest thing for our family growing up, because both of my girls grew up on those straight to DVD Tinkerbell movies. Like, we were the ones where there's this place called Best Buy that sold physical DVDs that you walked into and you bought it. And I would be there on my lunch break on the day that came out. And we'd have a plan that night that we were going to get pizza or whatever and watch those Tinkerbell movies. I'm pretty sure I still own them all, because when I got rid of my DVD and Blu-ray collection, I kept anything that was Disney, Marvel, Star Wars at the time. And so we probably still have almost every one of them. So it's funny how it didn't, I guess, connect with them on that level with Peter Pan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it to them, I think to the girls at that time, it was like, we know who Tinkerbell is, and then she has something to do with this Peter Pan guy, as opposed to it almost being the reverse.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of strange that we didn't grow up on it more. We are going to head back over to Epcot. This could be an interesting one. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, average wait time is 61 minutes. It maxed out at 240. It's about a 4-minute and 40-second ride. Took away the 3D. Have you experienced the 2D version yet?
I have not.
It's
I've not, because this is it good? Is it bad?
I prefer the 3D, and oddly enough, now they did fix a few small things, like when you're under the cart, the wheels spin on either side of you now, the physical wheels that are part of the set pieces, which is cool, and little things like that. Parts of it work really well, and parts of it don't. You know, the spot where you're being chased, I guess, or running through all the little back parts of like the wall. You each go into your own little kind of cubby in your cart. And
yeah.
I don't get motion sick. That made me nauseous now, but it never did in 3D, which was kind of weird. So I think there's a certain level, for me at least, of immersiveness that was taken away that makes it feel more like a ride than it used to, where it felt more immersive. I also think that ride can really depend on your placement in the seat. If you are in the front of that rat out of the two rows, and your car tends to be in the front of some of those big scenes, and you look and you're just like, well, there's the entire floor.
Right.
You know, and then there's all of a sudden a screen that starts, as opposed to being in that back seat in the rat and you don't see the floor as much. I think that can make a big difference. I don't know. What would you do on this one with that average of an hour wait time?
I would not wait an hour for this ride.
And
I hate to say that, because it's not a bad ride, right? Like, it just doesn't, even in 3D, didn't grab me. Yeah. I'll go back there and grab a crepe and enjoy that. And if it's, maybe 40 minutes, just because it does command some long lines. I don't dislike it, but I'd rather go ride Soarin' twice than ride this once. And I love the movie. I love Remy. I think the ride's, I just think it's okay.
Yeah.
I just don't love it. And I hate to say that, because I want to love everything, but it's just all right.
Yeah, I'll agree with you completely. Ratatouille, as somebody who loves to cook, is one of my favorite movies. But also, this is one where most of the time your time waiting is going to be split between the indoor queue and the outdoor queue. The outdoor queue has nothing for anyone. It's just a standard covered switchback. It's outdoors.
Right.
And then even the indoor queue, it's, there's a couple little cool things going on, but it's nothing compared to a lot of these other queues. I think there's more that could have been done with that.
I feel like they missed something. Like, it doesn't have, and look, it's not the same ride. This isn't really a fair comparison, but like Rise, which is a similar ride system, is immersive in a way that this is not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really believe that I've been shrunk down.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I just am in a ride, and it's a neat idea. And on paper, it seems like I should love this thing, but it just, I don't know. There's something about it's like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Next.
It misses the mark in a few areas for sure. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. All right, we're going to head back over to Magic Kingdom, and I think this is an interesting one because I usually talk a lot of smack about this one. It's Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Average wait time at 64 minutes, maxed out at 270, 2.5 minutes. I'm actually shocked that it's that long of a ride, because I was pretty sure it was like 45 seconds, because that's what it feels like to me. I have never thought that the average wait time for this is worth the payoff that you get from the coaster. And it's not to say it's bad. It's actually a great little fun family coaster. It is very, very well done. They had a very small footprint to fit this in, so it's understandable that it's not some long attraction. But I just can't imagine waiting 60 minutes, even for someone who has never been there, and then getting off of that ride and being like, yep, that was totally worth my time.
If we have to skip something at Magic Kingdom, this is usually it.
Yeah.
And again, not because we don't like it. My wife does love Snow White. That's her favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
So we've spent plenty of time in that queue, spinning gems around and doing stuff. So I've waited an hour and a half easy for this ride, but not by my own choice.
Yeah.
I think it's a great first coaster, right?
Yes.
And I love the little slowdown scene in the middle with the dwarves. I think the way they did the gems is cool.
Yep.
I hope they get rid of the, like they're doing for Anna and Elsa with the projection faces.
Yes.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
But I do love it. It's just, I'm just not willing to wait for it. It's so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you rope drop it, if you're staying on property and you get that extra half an hour, no matter where I try to go into the park to get to it, I'm still 45 minutes out.
Yep.
Like I never get I don't know where these people are hiding out or camping inside the park at night and parachuting in something ahead of me every single time.
Yeah.
So it'll suck up your extra half an hour like that.
Oh yeah. When you can only do one ride, if you're lucky, within that extra 30 minutes. I feel like there's something to say about that. Now, it's been years since we did this, so I honestly am not 100% sure on the timing and breakfast, but we had done before where we did a Be Our Guest breakfast, which is open before even the early entry, and they'll start running the ride prior to official opening at that time, at least. And so we were able to do Seven Dwarves. I think we ran over to maybe Space Mountain or something and knock out some stuff with almost walk-on weights at that time. But yeah, you're right. This isn't even one to me where, and then you got so long to go. Now I know now they'll take people into the hub and they'll hold them at lands, early before they release you at that official opening. But you're right. Even if you want to try and rope drop this, you're wasting all of that initial rope drop when you could get, as opposed to if you went to, Adventureland, you could knock out Jungle Cruise, you could knock out Pirates, you could hop on Aladdin if you wanted, probably make your way over and be in line for Tiana's, before the park is really starting to get busy with that official opening. So I just think there's a lot of your time spent elsewhere. There is something to say about the queue. And if you have littler kids, I think it's easier to wait. If you got teenagers, they're not going to be as interested. But when you got the little kids and they're in there and they're playing with the gyms and bringing home the flu and all, at least they're happy during whatever the wait may be. But yeah, I see we agree on that one as well. All right, we're going to go over to Hollywood Studios. You mentioned earlier, we were talking about Remy's and Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. So average wait time, 71 minutes. The max, 420. This is an 18-minute. Do you call it a ride? Do you call it an experience? Do you call it a show ride experience?
Right.
I don't even know because it's everything wrapped up in one. Is this something you ride often and you guys are willing to wait for?
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, the last 4 times I've been there, the lines for this have been almost non-existent.
Yeah.
Like I think May the 4th, we waited about an hour and 10 minutes. And I was with a buddy. We had a great time. He actually was in the military. I think I did a little short on it. And he went through all the stuff in the queue and told me what it was really for. He's like, this is a mess kit. And here's the ice cream maker. And this is a holding for a 10 millimeter shell. Like he knew everything. So it was fascinating to be with him. But this ride is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like Star Wars, it's just insane. It's like going in, it's more immersive than Galaxy's Edge is on its own. So I've waited a long time for it now. I'm a big proponent of single rider here because I don't need to sit next to my family every second of every ride, but it's awesome.
Yeah. And, this is one too, where that single rider, I think, can come into play because of how quick paced it can be. Now, when you get a good run through, I don't think anything beats this ride. Now, it stinks sometimes you get held up here and here and here and here, but when it runs through perfectly, you don't have to be next to anyone because you are so involved and immersed and moving along with everything that's happening, I don't think it really matters as much. I'm trying to think of the longest we probably actually waited. Now, recently we've ridden it twice where park closed at 9 and we got in line about 8:45. One of the times it was an actual walk on. I mean, it was literally walking the entire queue. And then we were in that pre-show with BB-8 and Ray and all. The next time we got held up a couple little times, but we maybe waited 20 minutes from the time we hit that, standby entry until we were in that pre-show room. So it's definitely a really good late night one to save your money on and not buy a lightning lane. One to save your rope drop on. Cause again, you got to go all the way to that back area of the park. But I remember being there on the day that it opened. Rhonda and I went. It was one of those. We got to the parking lot around 3 a.m. I'm trying to remember. They opened the park early that day. It may have been somewhere between like 5 and 6 a.m. And it wasn't until you walked through the gate that they announced it was on virtual queue, which that was the first one Disney had done. And so they were handing out pamphlets as you scanned into the turnstile. And then everybody's getting on their phone trying to figure it out. So while we got a good virtual queue that day, and I'd like to say, well, we waited 30 minutes or something. In reality, we were there at 3 a.m. If we didn't ride till 10 a.m., that was technically a 7-hour wait. And it was 100% worth it. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to do that every time.
Yeah.
But, in 45 minutes, if it's just Rhonda and I and we're just there hanging out and don't have big plans for the night, I'm going to get on. If it's an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we got people with us that haven't done it before and we haven't bought a lightning lane, we're getting in line or we're planning it around that last minute hop in line before the park closes. There's nothing else like it. So I'm with you on all that.
I was so good at virtual queues. Like I missed them so much. I never, ever missed one. I will say this though. We were staying at Riviera. And I went downstairs to get coffee and 7:00. So I'm doing my virtual queue. I'm on my phone, bang, group 14. And the lady beside me was from England and it was her second time that they'd missed it.
Yeah.
Like they were not getting on this ride and they'd spent 2 weeks here.
Yeah.
If I could have given her my virtual queue, I would have. She cried. She broke down in tears next to me. It was just crazy. But I mean, I had such good luck with that.
Yeah.
So I miss virtual queues.
I agree. I was at 99.9%. I got it. The one lesson I learned is don't go hide in the bathroom at the resort to not wake your family up because the signal in there was awful. And that's one of the times I missed it. Probably one of the only times. But I wish it had always been paired with a standby. So, because
yeah.
And there was a part of me then that started to feel bad. I'm like, man, we come here all the time. We ride it all the time. Like, yeah, you all of a sudden feel bad that there's people that this is their one chance, it's kind of their one shot and they can't because of a split second. But, right. And there were so many things around it. Do you get on Wi-Fi? Do you use your cell signal? Where are the data servers that it's going through with Disney? Where is this and that? And that might have been what happened to that lady. Is if she was going through some sort of cell signal, whatever it may be, it was crazy.
They're gone so fast, right? And she and I started, we were right beside each other.
Yeah.
And we started at the same time. And as I hit the button and she hit the button, bang, I got it. And bang, she didn't.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a lapse, like 5 seconds. It was at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So I get it. Luck of the draws. It's not, life's not fair, right?
Right.
But,
yep.
But I do kind of miss it because it worked so well for me.
The one thing I did love about them, though, was the 1 p.m. drops when you're in the park and you would hear the cheers come from people who did get it at 1 p.m.
Right.
that missed that 7 a.m.
Yep.
And you were just like so happy for them because you knew that they were getting on.
Right.
So that was something I did love about it was hearing that. All right. We are going to stay in Hollywood Studios. Slinky Dog Dash, 75-minute average wait time, 320 was the max. 2-minute family-friendly coaster. I got to say, it feels longer than 2 minutes because of that midpoint stop with Slinky where you then, bounce back and shoot forward again. How long are you waiting for this? And now that your kids are much older, is this something that they enjoy doing? Is more of that kind of kiddie family-friendly coaster?
The last time I rode this, Galaxy's Edge was under construction.
Seriously?
We
oh, wow.
All of us. Yeah. We walk by this one all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's an awesome coaster, but I feel like I'm just going to stay out of everybody's way because I just don't love it. And I don't want to wait in that line. I'm dead serious. I think Seamus, actually, while we were at Momentum, I think he came over one day and he got on it, but he said he just happened to be walking by and it had broken down and they got it back up and the line, he basically walked on.
Yeah.
But none of my kids cared enough about it to ride it again. So literally the last time I've been on Slinky Dog Dash, and we've tried several times. So I'm going to say that my max for this would be 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I've just not been in the park when it's been anything less than 45 or an hour.
Yeah.
So we skip it.
Yeah. I'll agree with you on that on far as the time goes. And I while I enjoy it and I think overall, I can't say it's a better ride than Seven Dwarfs because the Seven Dwarfs and the theming and all that it has is outstanding and it beats it. For me, Slinky's more enjoyable than Seven Dwarfs, but I agree that often the wait time is not worth the payoff that you get out of it.
I love watching it. Like I'll stand there and get a video of it going by. I think it's a really cool looking coaster.
Yeah.
And yet I have very little desire to jump in line for it.
Yeah. Except, that first launch when it comes up around Jesse and then the midway point where it springs back and shoots forward are so much fun to watch. This is one of those that I think that if you're going to do Lightning Lane, do everything you can to get this because I wouldn't, I would hate for someone to waste an hour and a half, 2 hours in standby to ride this when again, I think you can accomplish much more. Like personally, I would rather go see the new Villains show there in Hollywood Studios, over by Rock and Roller Coaster than I would this. So I think that there's more that you can do with the time that's given as opposed to waiting in the queue here. It's a neat queue, but it's not going to blow your mind or anything. And I think this is one that would play more off nostalgia for even like more our parents' age who grew up with these toys truly. I mean, we obviously grew up around a lot of these toys because you and I are pretty similar in age and all, but not to the extent that like our parents did. So and little kids are not going to care about any of the stuff that's in the queue, I kind of feel like.
How old do you think I am, Jeremy?
32.
I'm 54 years old.
I honestly had no idea. I thought you really were about my age, and I'm 46. So you were looking good, Sean.
I'm 54.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So and again, if my kids had wanted to ride it, I absolutely would have waited in line for this. Like it would not have bothered me to wait in line. It's just they were kind of like, we'd rather go do something else.
Yeah.
Right. All three of my kids love Star Wars, so they always enjoyed that.
Yep.
Or it's not on here. I hated Mickey's Runaway Railway when it came out, and now it's kind of grown on us. So we really I'd rather wait in line for that than Slinky Dog Dash.
Agree completely. So
poor Slinky.
going a little bit off, but not completely. I know you said a lot of time like you didn't have major meltdowns. Your kids didn't have meltdowns a lot of that time growing up and taking them. Let's just say they did, or you got grandkids one day who are prone to meltdowns. What is the wait time versus meltdown? Like, is there a time that you would cut where if you're like, all right, if we don't go on this ride, this kid's going to have a meltdown, but I don't even care. I'll take a meltdown if this ride is over X. Like, is there a certain time that you just almost would never wait for a ride, even if it meant having to deal with a whiny kid?
No, I think I would wait. Like, not to avoid the meltdown, right? Like I would rather teach them that, hey, life's not fair. You don't get to ride everything, right? It's a perfect metaphor for life. And the good things take longer, but if my kids, if we're at Disney and especially if we're just on vacation and, our once a year trip and they want to ride something, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. I don't leave early at concerts, right? Like I stay through the encore because I want to hear all the music and then I'll deal with the traffic on the way out. I used to hate that. I'd see people leave like, let's get out of here before the cars are lined up, man. I'm like, you came here to hear this song.
Right.
And you're going to skip it just because of traffic.
Yeah.
the line is the ride. This is part of the park, right? If you don't like lines, please don't go to Disney. You're going to hate it.
That is a very good point. There's another, if anybody's taking notes, write that one down from Sean as well.
Right.
All right, we're going to head back over. By the way, you're a better man than I, because I'd probably tell that kid, if it's more than 2 hours, too bad. It's tough. We'll come back again next year.
Right. Honestly, and again, I don't even have a frame of reference because my kids are the ones. I'm like, hey, let's go ride Peter Pan. Dad, it's 50 minutes. Let's see if it slows down later. We'll check it out then. I'm like,
I love that.
Okay.
That's outstanding.
You're my boy, Blue.
All right, we're back over at Magic Kingdom. Tron Light Cycle Run, 78-minute average. 270 max. I may have jotted that one down wrong because I don't believe it was ever. It was probably much longer than that at some point when it opened. This comes in at like 60 seconds. I mean, it's a blink and it's over. I love this ride. I think it is so much fun. Obviously, I wish it was longer, but I wish it was longer because that's how good it is. That 60 seconds just isn't enough. What are you waiting for this one on average? Would you say,
man? God, hour and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, we've waited so long for this, and I've tried to do the late at night thing. I don't think works very well. Like I think everyone goes over there to try to get their last ride in, and I don't, but you gotta have a frame of reference, right? So okay, we're waiting an hour and 40 minutes, but now the park's closed. And I can get some cool pictures on the way out.
Yep. For
a while, they were keeping PhotoPass folks in there late, so you could get a professional picture in front of the castle.
Oh yeah,
I do love PhotoPass.
Yeah.
We've waited for this, and I will tell you, once you ride in the front, I feel like I'll wait forever for it.
Yeah.
Like it's such a different ride in the front. Like it's worth every bit of, even if it's only 60 seconds to be on the front of that train.
Yeah.
So we've waited. My kids love it. I love it. We wait forever for this ride.
Yeah.
We just do.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. I think this is definitely one that I know it costs, and you just got to budget it in. If you don't want to deal with even worrying about wait and standby, do the lightning lane. But what we found some luck in, now again, this would almost be like leaving the concert early. If you've never seen Happily Ever After, do not leave it early. Wait. But this is one where we know when the finale's coming. In just about a minute or two prior, we'll sneak our way out and we'll head over to Tron. And we've been pretty lucky. Now, there are some times where the time difference between Happily Ever After ending and park closing is very short. There's other times where you still got an hour or two. It's on that longer end when the park is closing a little bit later that we've had better success. But you're right. If Happily Ever After is ending and then not long after that time is coming, sometimes Happily Ever After would be at 8:30. Park is closing at 9. That's when I think the last minute doesn't work as well. But if you've got a 10 or 11 p.m. closing and you've got a 9 o'clock or something or 9:30 Happily Ever After, you just leave a couple minutes before that finale starts, and you can usually we've done it then about 45 minutes, which again is not like a lot of these other rides where you do this same trick and you wait 15. You're probably still going to wait a minimum of 45, if not more. This is another one though where the ride is the payoff. The queue is not. You know, I mean, shoot, the other problem with nighttime that we have found is a lot of the times the doors are all open to go right through the little pre-show digitization room.
Right.
And so you don't get to experience that wow moment. And one of the first times we were so excited to take our friends. And I'm like, oh, this part is so cool. We're getting ready. I'm like, okay, when we get in the room, just try and get up front. Just look at the wall in front of you and all. And then we go in. It's already lit up. You can see the coaster underneath.
And they stole it
and
from
you walk right through. And so
that's not nice.
You risk that. And to me, that does take away a little bit. Like that's part of the payoff when you get to experience that. I would add 15 minutes to my wait time just knowing that I was going to get that tiny little pre-show payoff. So, it definitely is on, I think, a must-do list, even being the short wait time, kind of like you said, because it's still an incredible ride. And have you done it with the Tron Ares layover? Layover. What do you call it? An overlay?
That was cool. Although, if I had a complaint, and I do, it would be that I wish they had the music louder.
Yes,
like they should have turned it up a little bit.
Yeah, especially when it's 9-inch nails. Like that's something you gotta turn that dial to 11. So that I do agree with that. I was a little disappointed, but that was one of those where sometimes when new things happen at Disney, I try to stay away from it from social because I don't want to take away some of the element of surprise. And so I thought the whole thing, and now I'll probably ruin it for someone else. I didn't realize when the the layover comes. And so I remember getting on it and I was like, oh, like, are they not doing it? Did they stop it already? And then it was like, bam, when we took off, and everything changed. And I was like, okay, that's pretty dang cool. So even then it's like, I would add a little bit more wait time if I was guaranteed that Aries, overlay every single time, I think, as well. All right. We got two more. I think most people can probably guess what they are. We're going to head to Animal Kingdom, Avatar, Flight of Passage, 82-minute average, 345-minute max, a 5-minute experience. This is another one of those where most anybody you probably ask, how do I ride it? And if they're not telling you to get a lightning lane, they're going to say rope drop it. You got to rope drop it.
Yes.
And they wouldn't be far off. You know, this can be a rope drop. This can be a close at night. Otherwise, you're going to look at minimum hour, if not hour and a half, pretty much throughout the day. So you getting in line?
Absolutely.
Or not?
Yeah. It's so good.
It's amazing.
It's such a good
really
ride.
Is. Yeah.
We, actually, it's funny. My oldest kid, we went, I can't remember. I guess we missed it for rope drop. Oh, I know what it was. It's my fault. I screwed it up. I had the opening time an hour off. So we got there at 8:30. It opened at 7:30. Mm-hmm. So it's already at 2 hours. So we did the rest of the park, and it's when you could still be there in the dark because it was nighttime when we were in there. It was beautiful. And the Avatar land, I don't know why that's what we call it. Pandora is just beautiful at night. But my oldest was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is too long. It's too long. I'm like, we're all doing it. So we did. And afterwards was like, that was worth it. It was worth the wait.
Yep.
Like she wouldn't have said that initially. She actually met a pen pal in line that she talked to and then ended up writing back and forth with for years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But that ride's insane. I took my mom on that ride and she was like, oh my gosh, this is just unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely love it. We don't do it quite as often because we don't tend to rope drop now and we just aren't going to wait for it. But I remember when it first opened, there were select nights that they kept Animal Kingdom open till 1 a.m. for this. And so we were actually staying at the cabins, the old cabins, before they had the DVC. So this, again, what year did this open? 2017, something like that. And we were staying with Rhonda's parents. And so let's see, Kaylin would have been around 10 years old. And like 8, 9 o'clock at night, Rhonda and I took just Kaylin, and then her parents stayed back with Lacey in the cabin, and we went to ride it. I think we ended up waiting a little over 2 hours, and I think technically it probably is the longest we've ever waited for a ride. And I would do it that moment over and over again. We got to experience during the pass holder previews, so it wasn't our first time, but man, when you do that first time though, it is tricky when you're going through that queue. First of all, one of the best queues ever. I mean, every part of it, even when this is one of the only outdoor queues where you're still like, you're in it, because you're in Pandora. So even when you're outside, it's incredible, but it is tricky because if you don't know it, you get into one of the first big area, like the cave, and you're like, oh, this is cool. Oh, we're getting ready to go into the next room. We're probably there pretty soon. You're not. You're going to go through another one and another one. You get into the lab and you're like, here we go. Nope. You still got to go up the ramps. And so that part can be a little tricky, but this is one of those where I almost feel like the entire attraction starts from the moment you enter the queue. And so while it might be a 5-minute ride, it really is an hour and a half experience as you go through the queue and all. So I think you really have to take that into play. If we were at Animal Kingdom, and again, we didn't have plans ahead of us or anything, and I saw that it was at 60 minutes, I would head right there and get in, even nowadays. And I'm going to wait 2.5 hours if we've got the folks from out of town that have never been. I'm just going to suck it up. We're going to have a good time in the queue. We're going to play heads up on our phone or something, or just look at everything that's in there because I think it's well worth it. It's unbelievable.
And look, with the ratio of, now look, Kay, my wife, Kay, and I did a day at both Epcot and Animal Kingdom, where we didn't ride any attractions. We didn't go, we did films, we did trails, and Animal Kingdom without, I'm going to say rides, even though I know they're attractions. rides is still awesome.
Yeah.
It's one of the best days I've ever had at Disney. But if you are ride focused, you don't have to worry about missing a whole lot, even if it's a 2-hour wait.
Yeah.
It's still good use of time in Animal Kingdom, especially now, because a lot of things, there's not that much to ride. You got Everest, you want to do a safari. Dinosaur's still there, right? For now, right? And so other than that, Kali River Rapids, depending on the weather. So, you kill 2 hours, you're not missing 3 other rides to do it like you might be at Magic Kingdom. So it's not bad use of time.
Yeah. No, you were spot on with that. Yeah. The 2 hours, I think your payoff is pretty worth it. Now, like you said, Magic Kingdom, if you're putting in 5-6 attractions in the same 2 hours, that's a different story. But yeah, now's the time, I'd say, with, half the park, it feels like shut down, to go ahead and wait. All right. Final ride. We're head over to Epcot, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Average historic wait time is 87 minutes, maxed out at 240. It's about 3 minutes and 20 seconds long. I love this ride more than anything, and I have a notes in my phone that I have tracked every single song we ever got on it. So also I think that put us at about, we've ridden it 60, 70 times now. We rode it when we went for opening. It was Memorial Day weekend that year. I don't remember what year that was now, 2022 or something. And you could purchase the Lightning Lane and you could do virtual queue. And so for 3 days in a row, we did that every single morning. We got the virtual queue. We had somebody else buying the Lightning Lane. And so we rode it 6 times in those first 3 days. And if that was still available, I would do that every time we go. I mean, for the first year or two that it was open, almost every time we had to make a park reservation, I just made it for Epcot when they had the virtual queue because I had to get on that ride. So for me, I'd wait. Now, again, because I've ridden it so many times, I'm not probably really going to wait an hour and a half, but I easily would wait an hour and a half on an average to do this ride. And I'd go up to a good 2 hours or so if we got the folks from out of town.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
This ride's good enough. I'd wait twice in one day.
Yeah. Oh,
like
100%.
I would do an hour and a half twice in one day. No problem.
Yep.
It is the best ride I've ever been on.
Agree.
Hands down. It's not my favorite ride. Pirates is still my favorite ride, but it's the best ride I've ever been on. And the only even mildly disappointing thing ever about it is if you get the same song twice in a row.
Right.
Right. Like that's the only down thing to it. Oh, conga again, although I did miss, and I know I saw people complained about it last year. Last year they had Run Run Rudolph at Christmas, and I thought it worked really well.
Yeah.
And they didn't do a Christmas song this year. I was kind of bummed.
Yeah. I wish they would have done is done a rotation of Christmas songs the way that they do the rotation of regular. But yeah, I mean, come to rewritability. I mean, one, you do have 6 different songs
every time.
And the song certainly plays into the experience of the overall ride. But even riding it 60, 70 times, not once have I ridden it. Every time I get off that ride, my face hurts from smiling. Like my throat and teeth are dry because my mouth is just wide open the whole time and the air is rushing through. Like, I love this ride more than anything. And going through all of my tracking, it was funny. So only once in all of these rides, now I think this was over a 2-month period, but we did 6 rides and got all 6 songs over the course of those 6 rides.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which was super interesting. And it wasn't even something I realized till I went back and looked through my list. But I mean, that's how much I love it, is that I want to track what song is on every ride I do and how many times we've had a chance to ride it. I just think it's outstanding.
It's funny you say that because that's when anybody asks, that's how I describe it, is that I just laugh the entire time. I'm just laughing hysterically. What's the best song? What's the best song to get?
One Way or Another.
Do you think?
Ron and I both agree with One Way or Another. I just think for me, it's the pacing and it's kind of the beat and the tempo of the song that just fits so well.
You're exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I sang I Ran by Flock of Seagulls in the 5th grade talent show. So that holds a special place in my heart.
Of course.
But you're exactly right. The pacing of One Way or Another fits that ride like it was made for it, like an old shoe. Yeah. Just slides right on.
as we see Disney, I feel like
That's so funny.
starting to get back into taking care of some things that I felt were not taken care of coming out of COVID. Understandably, budgeting, things that were cut, projects that are coming up. But, you know, they don't have to update the animatronics at Frozen Ever After, but they are. You know, they didn't have to fix the little chasing lights at nighttime on Slinky Dog Dash, but they did. I think they're starting to do that more and more. We see the constant updates with Star Tours when new stuff comes out. Two things I want more than anything. Let's have Flight of Passage update with the movies as they come out. They only come out every 5 years. I'm pretty sure they could do that.
Oh, that would be cool.
And let's get a new soundtrack for Cosmic Rewind. Even if it's every couple of years, every other year, every 3, I would love to see a new selection of songs that come through. If they never do, that's cool too. But a lot of times you get off the ride and the music that's playing as you leave, I'm like, that song would be perfect for this.
Right.
So I would love to see some updates.
Disney fans don't have strong opinions about change, so I don't see why they couldn't just do that immediately.
They should. Nobody would have any sort of pushback whatsoever.
Well, you could add them in, right?
Yeah.
Like, couldn't you just eventually have like 40 songs?
Of course. I don't see why not. I mean, and it'd be interesting, you know, you go to like the Rip Ride Rockets, which is now closed over at Universal, to make way for something new. But, you know, you got to get on there and select what song you wanted out of this huge soundtrack. Now, obviously it was a different ride in the way that the speakers came, you know, around your head pretty much. But something like that, I mean, that'd be pretty cool if you could get on there and have a selection of what song you actually want to hear. Do you remember the rumor for a while that people thought that based on the symbol that was on the back of that train was the car that you got? Did you hear about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We tried to do, like, we wrote it a bunch of times. We're like, all right, here's the symbol. I'm like drawing them on a piece of paper. Here's the symbol. Here's the song we got. We would find people after that we knew were on a train in front of us. And then we would go like hunt them down real quick and be like, hey, I know it's going to sound weird, but can you let me know what song you just got? In the first couple times we were tracking it, it seemed like it was legit. And then all that was squashed and it was not true. But let's just say it was true. And you're about to get on and you saw a symbol on one and you're like, I don't really want to ride with this song. Would you ask to wait for another train? Or if you could guarantee that you could just get one way or another?
Nope. It would, because I like the other experiences. I just like that one the best.
Yeah.
Like we were there last month. Seamus and I did kind of a hybrid festival of the holidays and ride thing. And we did, we got Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Yeah.
Which I did a little thing on Facebook, and I think that was probably the least favorite song out of all of them because it's slower.
Favorite. Yeah,
and
agreed.
And I still loved it.
Yeah.
It was still a great ride.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. And that is actually part of the excitement is when the backward launch happens and the song starts, is realizing what it is.
Right.
And I swear you can tell by our photos what song we got based on our faces. Like, I can tell you looking at our photo passes. Like yeah. Everybody wants to rule the world, and we're just kind of like, oh man. And then when it's one way or another, like arms are in the air, like we're screaming. So it is funny the way that works. But this was a lot of fun. This was a great topic, I think, to have you on. I'm so glad you joined me, and I was finally able to get you on. I should have done this much sooner. But I can see you'll be coming back on for sure. Let everybody know where to find the podcast, the YouTube, email list, anything. This is Tater's time to promote.
Yeah, I think I think I own the internet for but mostly Disney, BUT. So like Sam Eagle, a tribute to all countries, but mostly America. We do a tribute to all travel, but mostly Disney. Yeah. So we do some other Disney or non-Disney stuff, but not much. Most of it's Disney. Instagram, the website has a link to the newsletter if you want to be bored once a week when I send you something. But we do trivia contests on there with prizes now. We just gave away Tim Foster's new book, his Small World book, which is
so good,
spectacular.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, and then which I waited 25 minutes for that ride last month. I couldn't believe it, but it's something from my childhood.
I wrote it 17 times in one day, so you're not.
I'm not.
I have no pity for you, Sean. I've got zero pity for you. You could have waited an hour. Don't care. 17 times one day.
So, and then most Tuesday nights we do a live podcast. So you can jump in the chat, and we are not as organized as Jeremy and Rhonda are. so you can steer the conversation wherever you want. We are actually going to talk about tomorrow night a little bit about our favorite YouTubers and podcasters with Adam the Woo passing, which I can't believe how sad I was. It really affected me. It's for someone I did not know or not in person. So we are talking about that tomorrow night. But yeah, every Tuesday night we're on here chatting away, and then there's a But Mostly Disney Facebook. I didn't know I had this much stuff. There's a But Mostly Disney Facebook group too, and I hang around in there a lot. So I try to answer all the comments.
Yeah. Yeah, we do an awesome job, man. And everybody, make sure you go check out Sean and But Mostly Disney. And you and I will have to
go back to 47. Jeremy was on, and we talked about our Disney family values.
That was fun.
And I think that's my highest listened to ever podcast.
Awesome.
That one got a lot of interest. It was, I'll tell you, episode 46. And that Jeremy's on there, and we talk about raising our kids and what Disney's done for that. It's a really good episode.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Appreciated you having me on. We'll have to hold on for a minute after we finish recording, because we got to find some time that we're in the parks at the same time together and finally hang out and do some stuff there. But again, Sean, thank you so much for joining us, and everyone else. That's all we got, and we'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.